one of the challenges in your franchise is unlike, a food, service or, a quick serve is that it's rinse and repeat. And in your business model, or I should say in your customer model, the customers come from all different walks of life. They have all different needs, all different challenges. How do you adequately train your franchisees to be able to adapt and to be able to serve their customers, patients? I'm not sure what you call them. Do you call them, are they just customers or are they?
They're our clients.
Your clients.
They're just clients of ours.
Yeah. So, I mean, how do you serve the clients when they have all different challenges that they're facing? And how do you train for that?
I think it starts with culture, the culture that the franchise owner sets within the office. I think in our industry, the caregiving staff are not treated very well from agencies that, they work for multiple agencies. And, oftentimes these caregiver staff, they're low wage hourly employees. So oftentimes they've had rough lives, and oftentimes they don't, they have, the low hourly paying jobs. And I don't think oftentimes they've had such hard lives that they've never been given opportunities for success. And so if you create a culture that's based off of mutual respect with your caregivers, offering opportunities for growth, we offer tuition reimbursement programs, and treat them, you don't treat them like employees. You've got to treat them, I feel, like family members. You've got to treat them with respect. And, one of the biggest things we're doing right now is, when we have our clients, so we go in and we create what's called a care plan of the things that we're supposed to do when we go into the home. Well, my question is, why aren't we creating care plans for our employees and our staff as well? Identify what are their goals and how do we help them accomplish the goals? Because our mission of empowering people to experience the full joy of living, that doesn't mean it's necessarily empowering just the elderly to experience the full joy of living. That concept goes to everybody whose lives we touch. And so I think that's how, if you have happy employees who are dedicated to you and believe in what you're doing, that loyalty will go a long way. And then the world, is at your fingertips. You can accomplish anything once that happens.
Jake, you hit on something that so many entrepreneurs miss out on. They focus on the customer-centric aspect of the business.
Yep.
And culture is everything, right? It's the entire ecosystem. If we are franchisee-centric and employee-centric, we will take care of the customers, but we've got to take care of our franchisees. The number one.
Our franchisees and our employees, they're our number one customer. It's what I say constantly. Who's our number one customer? Why are we not providing superior customer service to our number one customer? Because that'll help provide superior customer service to our other customers.
I didn't understand that when I first started. I franchised in 2003, and I was so customer centric myself because I had run my business, my sports leagues. And I think when I first franchised, I was so hell bent on making sure that the customers got what they needed that I missed that. I missed that piece at first. And it took a lot of bumps and bruises. I'm being honest with you. It took pain. It took me bumping, bumping heads with people and realizing that I'm focused on the wrong thing. I was so committed to making sure that my customers had the greatest experience. And even if I had to ram that down the throat of the franchisees, and I realized that that was the missing piece for me, that I had to recognize that they were most important. And by taking care of them, I know that they still have their priority is they want to take care of the customers too. And not everybody gets that. Again, I did not grasp that at first. It took pain.
Once you hear it and understand it, it's easy to grasp and understand, but the implementation of it is so hard. That's why, again, where franchise owners with good management experience, good leadership experience, and a heart and a passion for what they're doing. If you don't have a heart and passion for what you're doing, that's not going to shine through down to everybody else.
Right. It's appreciating, right, that every franchisee, they come from a different walk of life. They come from a different experience, different skill set. And that's the power of franchising, right? You're harnessing that, of having their expertise and experience, while at the same time they're believing in your culture. And everybody needs to know that they're all rowing in the same direction. Doesn't always seem that way all the time, but we have to be committed to rowing in the same direction. We may not always get there the same way, right?
And that means give them a seat at the table to help make decisions,
Yes.
Being open to listening to them and not just take it as noise. It's got to be constructive feedback and open to a mutual accountability. That's part of our, again, core values is family. Family is part of that core values, and it's treating each other like family. It's being able to have disagreements, and just like you do with your best friend, your loved one, your mom or dad, you're never going to see eye to eye with them. But if you have the same love and respect for each other that we do with our franchisees, that we do for our mom and dad and best friends or whoever, that's when you really win.
What I love about this conversation is that we have an audience of not just people interested in buying a franchise, right? But we have emerging franchisors themselves. And this gives them kind of a peek into the culture of what's really needed to grow your franchise. But on the flip side, if I go back to, if you are a potential franchisee hearing this, there's 4,000 different franchise opportunities plus, right, out there in the industry. When you're doing your due diligence and you're looking at different franchises, this very conversation that we are having about culture and about that franchisee relationship is probably not like top of mind for them. They think about, oh, this will be a cool franchise to run. I think I can make money doing this, or I can see myself running this company. But it's more than that. It's, do I buy into the culture? Do I think that the franchisor really appreciates me and appreciates my background? And do I bring a skill set and having a seat at the table, like you're saying? That's what makes a franchise relationship really tick.
And I think, a lot of people, we're small, right? We got 6, 7 franchises, and a lot of people think that as a disadvantage for us. But, if I was buying a franchise, like you said, that culture, that relationship is only going to happen. That's why I would not be afraid to work with someone who's so small, because the larger ones, the McDonald's, the Subways, whoever, they're set in their ways. They're not going to listen to you. They're not going to give you the opportunity there. And private equity firms are major players in our space, and a lot of private equity firms buy franchise brands, not us, and oftentimes you just don't have, the culture is not there, and the ability to have a say in how things progress is not there. And so if it was me and I was looking to buy a franchise, I would want to have the ability to have strong, have good conversations to affect how the company as a whole operates, because
Right.
it's circular relationship. My success is strongly dependent upon them, and their success is strictly dependent upon me. So you've got to have that give and take back and forth.
Sure. You're in the lifestyle business, right? This is not a franchise that you just kind of set it and forget it and hire folks. That you are really intimately involved in this. And it is,
Right.
I felt like my business was really a lifestyle business where people were proud that they owned it. They rolled up their sleeves and they were involved in it, and something they saw them doing, either doing themselves for life or handing down to their children and making a real difference in people's lives. You are making that difference in folks' lives, that you have to have somebody that's really all in, that they not just believe in the culture, but they're willing to go the extra mile.
Yep. And as you grow, you can grow your empire, you can get more territories, you can get bigger, and you'll have people in your life, there's got to be a good balance there. I'm not saying that you have to work 40, 50, 60 hours a week all the time. It's just at the very beginning stages, it's going to take a lot of work.
Right. How do your franchisees find clients?
The primary way is getting involved in the community, that care management approach that we have, and attending networking events, and seeing referral sources and accounts, and building relationships and convincing them to refer to you. Google pay-per-click advertising and online advertising is only going to give you, just very little clients. And you can buy leads, and those can be helpful if you do it right. And advertising and marketing is always going to be helpful. You have to do all the above, but the real needle mover is getting involved, getting seen and viewed, and people aren't going to refer to a company that they don't know. They're not going to throw a dart and say, I'm going to choose Talem Home Care. They need to see and experience and feel what we're about. And once they do that, most referral sources are hook, line, and sinker. They want to work with you.
How many people are on your on your corporate staff, and can you elaborate a little bit on the training and support that you provide franchisees?
Sure. So we have one, two, three, four, five of us, 5 to 6, and a part-time. So 5.5 of us on the corporate side. And we kind of take a hub and spoke model to our support. As a small business owner, you kind of have to know everything, right? You have to be experts in HR and experts in digital marketing and experts in advertising and experts in accounting and experts in all of the above. But the reality is nobody's the expert in everything. So instead of giving, a franchisee one primary person to talk to, we give them a whole wide variety of experts so they can talk to based off of those things. And so, my partner, Todd, he's our payroll and billing and technology expert. And then Laura is operations and rules and regulations expert. And then Jamie is our sales and marketing expert. And so, but in addition to just the staff that we have, it's also our vendors that we have. We kind of require our vendors to be those, field support people and being, they have to have a good, close relationship with their franchisees. Otherwise, they're not going to be a vendor of ours. And so we've got people that can, merchant services expert, insurance expert, HR experts, payroll experts, employee benefit experts, that they can pick up the phone and get instant help and information to answer any questions with any problems they're facing.
Thank you for tuning into the Emerging Franchise Brands podcast. For additional insights, guest applications, and to stay connected, visit us at efbpodcast.com. The Emerging Franchise Brands podcast is for entertainment purposes only, and the views expressed do not necessarily represent those of Emerging Franchise Brands, its host Frank Fiume, or Emerging Franchise Group, LLC. Any discussed franchise or investment opportunity requires thorough investigation, obtaining proper disclosure documents, and expert consultation before making any investment decisions. The podcast and its host do not offer professional advice or endorsements, and they hold no responsibility for actions, representations, accuracy, or consequential damages related to the podcast content.